Good evening, everyone. This is Rupinder Khurana on IHM Live Hospitality Talk, and we are joined by someone who's staying in the midst of the Bay of Bengal and is joining us today. She's the general manager at Peerless Resort, Port Blair, and we are talking about Miss Mo Chaudhary. Welcome to IHM Live.
It's a wonderful opportunity. Glad to be among you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much for taking time out. I know you've been very busy, and you could take some time out today evening. It's fantastic. All right. So
thank you. Yeah, surely.
I was talking with you, and there's something which you told me which struck me. That was that you mentioned that you did not have any formal education, yet today you've reached heights, and you've been a success story. So I would love to hear from you as to what made you, join hospitality industry in the first place.
See, the joining was by fate, but coming to this level is surely a lot of hard work, a lot of love and passion for the job, and definitely glory to God. So I was pursuing my MA in English when this ad for walk-in interview for front office came out for Taj Bengal. So that's history. Too many rounds, loads and loads of people, but it was a kind of a challenge for me because that was the first time I was appearing for any job interview. So I wanted to see where it lands up. But yeah, when I was the few chosen, the 13 among God knows how many. So then I thought, yeah, maybe this is the place. And when I saw the environment and the people around, the happening things around, I made it to myself that this is where I wanted to be. And yes, it involved a lot of hard work. Taj is a fantastic trainer, great trainer.
Certainly, it is definitely one of the most.
So yeah, that has always been by my side. The 5.5 years or 6 years almost training and Taj that has built my path, that has paved my path.
Okay, so you mentioned you joined Taj in 1995.
1995 Feb, yeah.
Okay. So before we go into that part, when you mentioned to your family that I'm getting into hospitality, what was their reaction?
Oh, that was miserable, very bad. Those days, hospitality was terrible. I mean, those days, good girls were supposed to study science or become a doctor. And right. That also I left. I chose up literature. So still people thought I'll become a professor. Then leaving English MA and then joining hotel was a big taboo. Was a big taboo because I was going around with my boyfriend, now my husband. Even it was a big taboo for him. And yeah, but thankfully my in-laws were supportive. My father was shattered. So I remember telling them that you don't pay me salary, but at least give me a place to live because I might be kicked out. That was the condition. But I was very upfront.
Once you started working, they came around?
Yeah. Now they're very, very happy and proud and everything. But yeah, back in those days, good girls from good families never was a big no-no for hotels.
Okay. So what were your initial years like? So, it must have been, totally a different area for you to come into because you did not have that formal education. So you were prepared for what was waiting for you. So how were those 1 or 2 first years of your career?
It was very tough. I would say, yeah, it is tough now, but those were the years where it was very tough physically because we, before that, we were always focused on academics and we were never exposed to so much of physical labor. I mean, I remember taking a round of the Taj corridor, having 54 rooms. I almost used to faint and I was like 1/10 of what I was now. So a 21-year-old girl and getting this thing, it was really, really taxing on the physical part. But yeah, it's kept me going that, yes, today I'm here, tomorrow I won't be here. That was the attitude and focus. But it was very taxing on the physical part.
Perseverance pays off. I'm sure
yes.
You stuck on and today you're here because you're heading one of the committees, right, of PLSN.
All glory to God, thank you. But yeah, love and passion, hard work, no shortcuts to success.
Absolutely. So if you could elaborate a little bit about your journey since the time you joined Taj you've been around the world, you've been to many properties, and you have you gathered experience along the way. So if you could elaborate on that.
See, when I joined 1995, I was there with Taj till November 2000, Taj Bengal, Kolkata. After which, again with dissatisfaction of many my family friends, when I joined, it was also throughout it had been dissatisfaction of
So
many.
which
So
department
it's
have
okay.
you been working with all through? So when you joined in, you were in the front office?
No. It was a working for front office, but I remember I was chosen for housekeeping.
Right.
And when my first interviewer, she's still with me in touch, she asked me, "What do you know about hotel?" I don't know anything. You are supposed to brief me. So I'm nobody. But yeah, I feel like I should be here with you all. So that's how I started from zero knowledge, but then I was trained from the basic, from cleaning WC, from cleaning 54 WC in a day. So now I can proudly say I am the best WC cleaner in the world. So I cleaned it so well. And oh, I remember Mr. Mishra, Satish Mishra has just passed away 2 days back. I remember when he was appointed, when he was giving my appointment letter, he told, you come from a Brahmin family. You can clean WCs. Are you open to that? I told, of course. No work is less for me. So I don't believe in those. So yeah, ego had to be cut, torn into pieces and flushed in the WC. You cannot have ego when you are in a hotel industry. That is number one, which I see a lot of new generation has this as a big problem. So
Right.
ego cannot be there. Ego cannot be there at all.
Absolutely.
So
I agree with you. So no job is any, it's not.
No. You have to be open to each and every job and do it with your full love and dedication. It's not
Absolutely.
like, you're making faces and doing it, which again, I see in these generations. But you cannot make faces. See, I had not been a trained hotelier, but I was open to learn everything. I'm still open to learn everything. A student forever. So yeah, you have to take it with love and do it as it comes along your way. So it started with a hardcore training. I remember I used to go back home after a 10, 11-hour journey and put balm all over my body. It used to be so painful. But again, back on duty the next day, because I never wished to give up. But yeah, there were many people who gave up. Not many continued. And as I told, Taj is a ruthless trainer, and thanks to that ruthless training, I am where I am.
I agree. So that's how the diamond shines.
That's how the diamond gets polished, and they know very well how to get polished.
Very true. So post Taj, how did you,
post Taj, then again, Taj became very easy because, yeah, I knew most of it, 6 years. So I always crave for challenges, I guess. That again has helped me in moving. So where challenge, then I saw that HHI was a fireplace in those days with 2 unions, INTUC and this thing, C2. So there I jumped. Again, my father-in-law was very scared. Don't leave Taj. Taj is like a government job and all that, and which I didn't want. I mean, I wanted to explore myself and see where I stand. So then I took up that job as I started as a assistant manager, then a deputy manager, then an executive housekeeper over there. So it was around 4 years of journey there. Huge management I learned on the job, huge. So it was a big, being a 25, 26-year-old girl, the average staff age of my department was that of my father's. And they came and told me, the union leaders, and housekeeping is a notorious area. So all the vice presidents and presidents, they were all from my department. So they came and told me, what will you do? We are like your father. So I don't know, you are father's age, but not my father. So there's a difference. So yeah, but it was a wonderful journey. By the time I left, I remember all the leaders, they were like in their tears. So it was nice to manage them and to get the best out of them. So that's it about HHI. Wonderful owners, still in touch with them. Taj team, still in touch with them. Celebrated our 30th birthday of Taj Bengal this October. Then I moved on to Park Hotels in Visakhapatnam. There I again moved as an executive housekeeper. From there, after 8 years then I moved to associate director housekeeping. Then I was transferred to Kolkata, Park Kolkata, as director housekeeping. So that was the first high, you can say, of my career, where when I joined in 1995, I saw myself as the topmost of the department. That was the dream come true. So it came true in 2011. So almost after I became an executive housekeeper, say within 6 months, within 6 years, but I wanted to be right at the top of that department. So it came in 2011, actually. So from there till 2013, I was there. Then I thought of myself working abroad as a housekeeper. What is it like? So then Sarovar Hotel gave me this opportunity, thanks to Mr. Bakaya, who had the faith in me to appoint me to Tanzania. Now that hotel has become Four Point Sheraton. That time it was with Sarovar, New Africa Hotel, a landmark hotel in Tanzania, Dar es Salaam. Wonderful place, wonderful property. Great to again manage a different portfolio of my team, where again I was the Indian only, and them to have faith in me and trust in me. So 2 years just passed by. I'm still in touch with them. Wonderful people, great team. Then came back to India after 2 years, 2015, yeah. Came back to India with a mind that already 20 years were over as a department head. And now I wanted to head the property as a unit head. Because by that time, I spent a lot of time in other departments, unofficially, officially. Any time I got, I always spend in other departments, which again, I don't see in this generation. They have to do beyond what they are told to do. So that hunger to learn, like whenever there was any banquet in other island, in Tanzania, we used to do all this outdoor catering. I used to volunteer and go for, and I learned F&B there. I learned kitchen, a lot of kitchen work there. I befriended my accounts guys, so I learned the systems and procedures and the all the counting, bar records and everything. So front office, of course, was my first interest. So I learned this OTA and everything. Otherwise, I would have remained being a housekeeper had I not done in the due course. Like I remember Mr. Bakaya told me when he heard my ambition that I also want to scale the Himalayas, but what am I doing for it? So then I told, sir, I am doing for it because I wanted to scale. I have done my job. You can ask me. So touchwood, he had his trust and faith on me. And then I was given the chance to head Siliguri Sarovar Portico as the GM. So there I was about 3 years. And touchwood, I could turn around the hotel and into number one with revenues, with profits, with standard, with everything. And I was then selected, which again was my dream. Okay, so this is my second dream, to become a GM. Okay, this was the second high. Third high was to become a GM of a international property, which again came after 3 years, 2018. So which among those 82, 84 GMs, again, I got the trust and this thing to head the Nairobi Zenaria property as a GM. So that was the third high. So far I've done my 3 highs. So I was there, and then suddenly the presidency change of the country, and then they had put this bar on expats. They are still struggling with that. So they did not renew the visa and all that. So that's how I'm back in India. For a few months, I helped out Sarovar Hotel for the Jhansi property, which was new open, and there was no GM. So I was requested to hold the fort for a while and manage that property. Again, in a huge mess, not a proper opening. The GM left in between. Accounts were haywire. So touchwood, in 8-9 months, it was like on the run, and revenue-wise, profit-wise, positioning-wise. Then I got this opportunity to join the Peerless Hotels. Again, touchwood, God has given me the opportunities. It has come on my way that join us in Peerless Andaman. So I thought, fine. In any case, Sarovar, I have done whatever I had to. So why not? And Andaman would be a nice explore. It's a huge resort property, because so far I have not been a GM of a resort property. I was always in a business property. So that's the reason I took up this as a challenge last year. And I'm here.
So being a woman, how easy or how tough has your journey been? Or would you say that?
I think, yeah, the main issue, what I always tell people, sorry, please excuse me, but it is important to ego massage the male ego. That is a big question mark. Yeah. Don't take the otherwise. It's not all men, but generally it comes around 85 to 90% that people still till date can't take a woman in power. That's definitely there, which you have to brush aside. You have to move on. It will come. It's not, the world is not heaven. It will come. You have to take it on your stride. So yes, this will come. First of all, listening and learning from a lady, listening and learning, and then from a lady. Oh God, that's very tough.
But then I think you found your success mantra. You've moved from property to property, going from heights to heights, and today you are heading a property which is an iconic property. It's quite an old property, I'm aware of, and it's with the with been with the
Yes,
previous
yes,
since last almost, I think, since early 90s is when it has come in,
yes.
and a very very big property and a well-known property in Andaman. So now, a lot of people who are watching this are people who are already maybe a student. Some of them may be already in the industry, and there are some people who are thinking of joining hospitality industry. All right. Not that I necessarily want you to address the women, but then overall, from your side, with your experience of almost 25, 26 years is what you talked about. What would be your advice to all those people who are whether a student or thinking of joining hospitality or already working professionals and rising up? So, you know, maybe two or three advice that you would have for them.
See, first and foremost, as I told you already, ego has to be thrown away, which is a big hindrance, which I see in my 25, 26 years. Ego plays a huge role, especially with boys, especially with boys again. Number one. Number two is, see, all over, wherever I have moved across two continents and three countries, I had been really blessed with a wonderful team with me. And again, it's again controversial because the same team, when my predecessor or the successor joins, they don't find them that good. So again, I think it depends on us how to move along with the team. So we have to be with the team. We have to move along with the team. You alone, me myself cannot perform. No way. So that team player is a must. Ego cannot be there. And yes, a lot of hard work. No shortcuts, no shortcuts. Love, do whatever you do with your love. I have a daughter of 15 years going to 16 next month, a couple of months. So same thing, I give the advice to her. Whatever you want to pursue, but with a lot of love and passion and hard work. You cannot see that, okay, in a few years I'll be HOD and then a GM. No, 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 it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. So people have to be getting ready for the physical hard work, for the mental pressures, for the tough atmosphere, for the tough guests. Guests are also good. Maybe 0.1%, maybe little demanding, but that's okay. You have to take it on your stride. Even girls, things will be tough with the male bosses, with the male colleagues, with male owners, with male guests, but it can be managed. It's not impossible. It can be managed. Life is not a very smooth journey, but yeah, it can be managed. But it's nice. It's good to be up.
Great, lovely. Like we are going through very trying times, all right,
True.
and we are, trying to overcome and trying to go into areas which we have not, put our foot in previous to this. But then the industry needs to adapt to a lot of new way of operating, I would say.
True.
So, as a general manager who's leading, one of the premier resorts in Andamans, what would you see, or what are you seeing the future to be in hospitality? What changes are you envisaging, and what new normal are you, talking about?
Okay, now we can never go back to the old systems and old procedures. That's period. We cannot. So now from henceforth, everything would be all about safety and security. Please understand, especially health issues. Okay, five-star hotels have always been particular about the health and safety, but now it will be even much more. So starting from your porch gate to your reception, to your rooms, to your room service, to your restaurant, kitchen, everything has to have this as a priority. How safe are the guests with us? Like for me, I would love to travel once everything opens, but I would surely like to go to a place which is very safe for me and my family, where I don't have to worry about how the things are done. So yeah, that will definitely play a big role. And hospitality will definitely rebound. This is just a part of life and a stopgap. But hoteliering and hospitality can never go out of this thing, out of business. That will be there. People would travel. International travel will take a little hit because of the restrictions. Within the country, national travels would be there. Since I'm totally based on a resort, I'm looking forward to people coming down for a wonderful beach holiday, because they can't move abroad. Maybe the people moving abroad should think about this, because nowhere in the world you will get to dive down the sea 40 feet down. I mean, I myself have done it 40 feet down. And yeah, another thing, people have to be an explorer by nature. If you are going to be a hotelier, be that, because you cannot convince to sell somebody something if you have not experienced this, or if you have no knowledge about it. So we need to learn, we need to know, we need to explore. So this kind of a clear water, going deep down, being with the marine life, where in the world you'll get?
Absolutely.
So
The
yeah,
coral,
it is just
the
a
coral
time
reefs
phase.
in Andaman are to, people whoever have seen it, they definitely, talk highly about it. So one of
Yeah,
the,
yeah, and then you can go to different islands, see the place, and be there. It's something out of the world. So it's hospitality will definitely bounce back surely in no time. Uh, if we don't have a second wave, I am expecting by October, November, December surely, which is the peak period. So touch wood, keep praying. So the second wave should not hit us, and let's see.
all right. So that's a very positive note to bring in. All right. So thank you so much, in fact, for taking time out and speaking to us. And
It's a wonderful thing to be a part of your show. And if
absolutely.
I can at all motivate some students and for the hoteliers, it will be a great pleasure of mine.
Thank you so much for all the kind words, and I'm sure people who are watching us would definitely take away a lot of things, especially seeing the way you have charted your life, from going from somebody who did not have any hospitality education to today leading as a general manager. So people, if you are having that will, success will come your way.
Yes.
Just that you
The
need.
respect, the respect to the seniors, the blessings of the seniors, the cooperation of the juniors, team members, they
Right.
all play a big role. Big role.
Correct. All right. So
Thank
thank you
you.
so much. Lovely
Thank you
speaking
for
to you,
inviting me to the
and look
show.
forward to see you maybe in person sometime.
Surely look forward myself as well.
Right.
Take care, do well,
You
and
take
my
care as
best
well.
wishes, everybody. Good luck.
Right. Thank you so much. Bye bye,
Thank
everyone.
you. Bye.
Bye.
टीम मीटिंग हो गया नहीं नहीं हो रहा है तो